Okay guys, so this is the finished look. We're gonna put them together. And voila. Can you put it together, please? That's beautiful. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tashana. In today's video, we're gonna have Dave. We're doing a Sit With Me couples painting at home. And we're going to be doing this sunflower. I'm going to put the link in the description. Dave is going to come in a second. The girl's name is Julia Ennis Creations. If you want to go ahead and follow directly from there, or if you want to stick with us and just do it with us, but that's what we're doing for today's video.
You know it. Top everything, you know it. King already, you know it. My body soul got a king body. Body gon' shine, bling bling body. Calling all the shots, ring body.
So then here, show them your apron. Show them your apron. He's being extra, you need an apron. Professional painter.
Paint on me. I'm not professional, but professional. I wouldn't do it.
Okay, so we're doing it right side up. We're using 8 by 10 inch canvas. So we're using Falling in Art brand. Then we bought another one just so we have enough paintbrushes. And this one is
brush.
Right. That's what we did the last one. It was very annoying to be sharing all the brushes. So it's Benici. This is the brand, and that's what we're using.
Benici.
Benici. So that's what we're doing. Extra acrylic. Okay. So we're going to need ivory black, phthalo green, cadmium yellow, or I think we're also using just yellow from our other, it's just yellow.
123C.
123C, and phthalo blue, black, and cadmium red. We're using medium hue, and then titanium white.
Other yellow, the darker yellow. Orchard.
Oh, yellow orchard.
You basically need a dark yellow and a bright yellow.
Right. So ignore this one. We ended up putting the two same color yellows, so you just need a darker yellow and a lighter yellow.
If you don't have a darker yellow, you could always mix.
Yeah, a darker color,
yeah,
right?
Like an orange or maybe I guess a black with the yellow.
Okay, so now that we have all the colors together, we have our water. You're gonna need water to wash your paintbrushes, and you're gonna need a plate, obviously, to put your paint on. I'm not sure if you're going to need tape measures just to make sure everything lines up, but we're going to see.
Pencil.
But I will say just have it in case.
And
a pencil, paper
Yeah.
towel to dry a brush. What else? What else you have here?
That's it.
And that's it. Something to hold your canvas, obviously, and your canvas. Yeah. So going to need a very pointy, the smallest brush that you have. Size 1, and he's using a size 2. And we might end up sharing this brush because I don't have a size 12 pointy brush in the other paintbrush thing. So we're gonna share this one, but you need a size 12 pointy brush, and it says it on the brush itself, so you don't have to like guess anything or whatever. It says it. So a size 12, you're gonna need a size 6 flat brush, size 6 flat brush head, or this other smallest one you have. I have size 10. I'm just going to make that work, so I'm using that. And then you're going to need a size 4 pointy brush again. I think that was yours. And then you're going to need a 1 inch flat brush. He just has multiples to see what works. It's not that technical. Just use what you have.
This needs a shape because you need a flat brush, you need a detail brush, and you need a pointy brush.
Right. Our head. Okay. So what we are going to do is we're going to dip our paintbrush in
First,
water.
what brush are we getting?
We're getting
Whatever flat brush you want to use.
Okay.
I'm going to use a 12 because we have relatively small canvases. A bigger one would probably maybe be easier or quicker, but this is what we have, so that's what you're using.
And I'm actually just using a half. It says 1, 2. Okay, so we're gonna dip it in the water, and we're gonna dip it on our napkins here, and we're gonna take our green, phthalo green, and we're gonna take it and we're gonna make random brush strokes anywhere on the canvas. This random diagonal, yeah. Tell them, Dave.
So diagonal brush strokes, and the amount of paint doesn't even particularly matter all that much. We're just kind of putting the base down. So what we seem to be doing.
We're making a background.
We're building our background up piece by piece. Don't overthink it. Just put them on there and do your thing. You can vary the amount of pressure, amount of paint. What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Failed already?
You failed. This is not a competition. Remember, mine even came out better than yours.
Shush! What are you talking about? Mine was way better.
Yeah?
Yeah. Way better.
Okay.
We were better in different aspects. My trees were
I
better.
think your art was better. Your heart in the sky was better.
My trees were better, but your whatever parts were better.
Yeah.
There's such thing as better though in art. Just different. It's the whole one art.
Okay. So once you get your random strokes of green on here,
I need more paint so we can spread it.
you don't need to clean your brush off, is what she said. And you're going to go into your phthalo blue and you're going to put it in as well, random places where you don't have the green.
So you try and
Same.
get most of the green off first. Whatever.
Yeah, well, she said it didn't matter.
Yeah, because you're mixing it all anyway, so
Right.
what's the difference?
So now you're just putting your blues in. Dave is doing more than 11, but if you want to go ahead, you can put your blues at random places as well. I'm going to go back into my green just because I feel like I was putting more pressure with my blue and I don't want it to like
The all
be
blue.
blob, yeah. So
Not
I'm
that I was
go
going to
back
say,
into my
suggest that you
green.
can do that. It's not loud.
I'm going to continue with my blue. And you're just making the backgrounds. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No, just however you want it to be. Well, you don't even want it to be because it's not. You're not making a picture. You're just kind of setting up your background.
Right, your base. Okay, and then the next step is put the white wherever you don't have any colors. So and if you want to, she said, don't want to change the color of the white, you can either get 2 batches of white or you can put your first set of white and don't care about it and then just put new white when you're ready to use the actual white and you don't want it to be too mixy. So I'm gonna get my white and just put it in the places where there is no blue and there's no green. And then from here is where you start brushing back and forth with mostly the tip of the brush instead of using the flat part to get the colors to mix. And the more you go back and forth, the more the colors are going to mix and become one color. So if you don't want your background to just be one standard color, you want to brush back and forth less. So you just keep moving along and don't stay one place too long.
What's up?
Same way the last time you take long before you reach the white, it's like,
Where you
where?
rush?
Anyways, where's my, okay,
Speed it up.
about the wine. Let me go for a wine. Well, Dave, because I'm moving way faster than Dave, so I'm just going to take the time to go for the wine. Okay, let's go. Cheers.
Ooh.
We're using our Margaritaville cups that we got on
From
vacation.
Montego Bay, Jamaica.
From Montego
No, they
Bay.
say all 3 of them, but
Okay,
it's
from
the airport.
or Jamaica trip. So, cheers. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Just making a background. You're not making any particular picture. If you want more of one solid color, she said to keep brushing. The more you brush, the more it mixes. You know? Dry. Forget to dry if you're using water.
Yeah?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no! You have to be careful with the white. The white will totally disappear. Like,
The parts they don't tell you. Like, hey.
like if you don't put enough paint, it should dry out, you know?
Right? Because like it's so hard to.
I guess what you're doing is kind of using the water to help it spread a little.
Yeah, because I don't want to keep mixing it because otherwise it's going to become
Or
just
keep
one
adding.
color,
Yeah,
right?
the water made it mix a lot. I didn't like that. I don't know.
Did you dry it like you told me?
I didn't want to dry it.
And did you not just put it in the spot that you're trying to spread the paint? I'm literally trying to use the excess of my brush to put in the parts where it's dry. I'm not really like mixing the other paints, you know?
Mhm.
You have to know how to do it
You don't have to know how to do it. You feel how to do it.
in your brain.
In your heart.
In your brain. Ooh,
Brain is
this
for-
is beautiful.
Brain is for math.
Wow, this is beautiful. Oh my god. And you know what? That's why I laughed at you the last time I did yours. And it's pretty. I was like, one by the random foolishness will end up still look good. Everything you did so backwards. And then it still ended up beautiful.
That's painting.
You remember you were having so much problem with the stuff and you were making mistakes and stuff? You remember? Or no?
Yeah.
You were like, oh, why is my thing not doing it?
I worry too much. And what it seems like you said, you can kind of use the water if you don't want to add more paint to mix and spread a little bit more. You don't want to thin it out too much, though.
I don't think it matters. Is anybody gonna see that it is thin?
No, I'm saying if you thin it out too much, then it's not going to spread on the canvas well, and I don't know, in the cover. You say what's working for you. What's working for you, Deshaun?
What's working for you, Dana?
I'm asking. Why don't you talk to the people?
Okay, what I'm noticing is you just add some water and put it in the parts where it's super dry, and it just, instead of having to go over the colors that you already dried to where you want it to be already, and you don't want to change it, so just add water and put it in the parts where it's like still canvas showing. So that's what I'm doing. What are you doing?
I was doing that, but my bottom part didn't have very much paint, so I had to add a little more paint, I think.
I'm literally going to use the rest. My bottom part doesn't have enough paint either, but I'm going to use what's left on my brush to do that.
Nice.
So just wet and just keep using what's at the bottom of the painting and also what's left on the brush to fill in that part. That's what I'm going to do. Instead of like changing what I already done, because I really like the variation in the colors that I've
For
made
sure,
already.
for sure. Yeah, to be careful. Just add a couple of drops here or there, and it seems to do the trick.
Okay.
Yeah?
Sure. Yeah.
I get these little parts that are like not, you know, covered all throughout mine. Guess I should use the water to kind of. Bottom part is a little hard to get, huh?
And then, since I'm done doing the bottom and everything, I'm just gonna do one more run through with the thing. I'm gonna do one more run through. Oh, that's beautiful. Painting my edges while the canvas dries, and we put the sunflower on there. And like Dave is doing, we're adding more white in there just so it looks more.
Very.
What were you gonna say before?
I was gonna say that she says to put it on. Well, You can put it on really thick because it gives it like a nice textured look and makes it like a real background. You don't want to, if you use the flat brush, it's better than using the tip. It puts it on nice and thick. So you want to be gracious and extra with your paint because you're just trying to get the whole thing. Unlike us, I feel like I kind of held back and I just had to go back and put more paint, you know? So she definitely put a good bit of paint in there.
Got it. Okay, and I'm just doing my edges while Dave does that, so.
Could I have some paper towels?
So for this part, we are, to put it together, we're going to do 3 inches from the bottom. We're gonna make a line with our medium yellow. And we're gonna make can you put it? We're gonna make, are you seeing? So 3 inches from it, and then we're gonna make a little mark right there. And then 3 inches from that mark that we made from the bottom, we're gonna put 3 inches, another mark right there. And then from the sides, we're gonna do 3 inches from the middle of the thing that we made. Okay. And we're gonna make another mark. Can you do it?
You have paint.
Right there. And then we're gonna use that, and we're using our other flat brush, and we're gonna make the circle with that. So we're just gonna follow it to make her half a circle.
Just sort of outlining it. You don't have to make.
Right, and we're outlining it pretty much. From the 3 inches, just make the round thing.
Round it out a little more.
Yeah, just make it round. So
It is, like we said before, it's art. So you just kind of make it your own.
just make sure you put it together to make it actually like match.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna do that, and like that. And now you can go back and cover that part, I guess.
Can you do it?
So the outer edge is the edge I want.
So what we're doing is we're going about
1.5 inches.
an inch and a half away from the bottom corner of the sunflower that we're making, and we're going to make a line that bends to the right. So it's either going to, depending on what side of the canvas you have, it's either going to bend to the right. Mine is bending to the right, his is bending to the left, and we're just going to do it out and bend it back.
Should I try and bring this one over to match?
Yeah, I guess so. So, and if you really want to make sure it lines up, you can bring it together to make sure that it matches. Okay, cool.
She was doing them very thick, so I just want to. I have a small brush.
Alright, so after you do that one, go a little bit beside it and make another petal. It's the opposite of what you just did, and you're gonna bend it like
Ours did
so.
touch, but okay.
It didn't touch?
No.
So you're gonna do that. And then the other petal that you're gonna make,
other
you're
side.
aiming for it to come all the way over here. So you're gonna go up about another 1.5 inch or so, and you're going to let that one bend. Mine is bending to the right, and his is going to be bending to the left, I guess. So you're just going to do another long one that goes about there. Okay, and we're gonna make another one. So we're gonna go another 1/2 inch, and we're trying to make it come close as possible to this line. So, and it's going to bend in the opposite direction, obviously. So, like so. And these are just the outlines, so they don't have to be perfect. And you're also supposed to be using your pointy brush at this point. So that's what we're doing.
I feel like it was supposed to be big.
Anyways, Dave made his third petal like extreme. When we're doing perspective, so you want it to look like it's coming out at you. So we're making.
How am I gonna fit 3 in there? She's got 3.
petals at the bottom bigger than top ones, so you want to make sure that the top ones, that you leave enough space so you can make the top ones smaller, and you can have enough top ones as well. So that's what we're doing. So the top one, you're getting closer, more, you're not doing 1.5 inches or 1/2 inch anymore. You're doing like a very close proximity to the first line that you drew. And then you're trying to make it have a little curve to it. So you just draw the first line and you can let it go into the line that you made before, and then come out with a little curve, and then just get closer with the other one. Now I'm gonna actually fix my edges to make them like nice and bright, because I was just doing the outline before. Okay guys, so I did my outline of my edges, so now we're gonna fill them in, and the method we're gonna use to fill them in is we're going to be using our bright yellow with the darker yellow with some white to give it like variation in the petals, to make it look like real petals basically. So I'm going to be using this here brush. I'm just going to be using, I guess, the pointy,
Continue with the
with the pointy thing that you were using, the pointy brush, and you can just start filling them in. What we're going to do is the ones, the edges closer to the right, or
the center, I guess.
the closer to the right half or the left half, depending on which one. So the edges closer to the bigger parts, you're going to try to keep them darker, and then the edges closer to the smaller portions, you're going to put like white there, and then just keep mixing in with the darker yellow. And it's pretty much whatever you want to do, just to add like variation in there. So you're trying to keep the darker parts like over here, and at some point we're going to be mixing red in there, is what she said, but we're not there yet. So we're just sticking to filling the flowers in. You don't want to keep going back and forth, it's just like how you did the background, because the more you go back and forth, the more it's just going to mix in and become one color. So you want to try to just filling them in is what we're doing. Not doing anything crazy, just filling them in. If you want to not have the see-through look on your flower, what you can do is you can paint your background of the flower white, and that's gonna prevent it from being transparent. If you don't want the blue background to be peeling through, you can color your flower white and then go in with your yellow to put on top of that. But if you don't care, then you don't have to do that. And I don't think we care. Oh, Dave cares. Dave cares. I wasn't even looking at your thing. Dave cares.
I just wanted a little white.
Why didn't you say it?
You're doing your thing and I'm doing my thing.
But we're also doing it for the people.
I'm doing it for us.
But you're also on camera, and the people need to know what you're doing.
You were talking, and I'm just gonna talk at some point.
Okay, please to talk.
You were allowing me to speak.
Yes.
You're lifting my speaking
What
band.
do you mean? What do you mean? Who was stopping you from
I'm just
speaking?
messing with that.
Anyways,
And you can mix in your darker yellow too.
yeah. So just to give it some, what's it called? Gradient? Is that gradient? Or just variation? Or
Yeah, same sort of.
Yeah.
That word works as well.
yeah. If you want to make it like nice and not plain and just like one color, if you want to make it, you just add your darker yellows. What she was also doing was just mixing the paint together as well. Like if you want to mix on the actual plate before you even put it onto the canvas, you can do that as well, just to get like different tones in the colors. So yeah, that's what we're doing. straight or light or whatever you want to be.
Going for
What's it called? Going for. You want to make sure you're consistent with your strokes. That's what you want to do.
Consistent strokes.
Isn't that what you're going for?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
You like to be surprised.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh my god. Oh my god. I remember it's sip and paint, not sip and what you said.
Chug. Not
Don't be like this, Raya.
chug and paint.
No, I'm done. I'm done with myself.
And this other paint is like thick.
Yeah.
The other brand.
Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful. That is
Yours
beautiful.
came out nice.
That is beautiful.
Kind of still
If I might say so myself.
On mine here a little. I'm gonna take some time.
That is beautiful.
If you want to pat yourself on the back.
If I do say so myself, if I do say so myself. Okay, so what's currently happening here is Dave stole my paintbrush, so I'm just working with what I have, the flat one
The
now.
one I was with.
The one he was working with, because he says that apparently the reason why his painting wasn't coming out as good was because I had the better brush. So I gave him my brush, and he is currently using my brush and I'm using his. If you want your red to be darker, you can mix the black and the red together to make a darker red, or you can add blue to make it into like a purple tint. So it all depends on how you want your petals to look. So you can do that, is what she just said. So I'm gonna maybe do down here just a little bit. Don't want to be too crazy. Just like mix it in. If you get it to be too much red, dry your brush off and then add your yellow back. It's pretty much common sense, really. So if it's too much of one color that you don't want it to be, just add the other color back without doing too many strokes, because otherwise it just becomes one color. So that's what you're trying to go for. It's blending properly, but I don't think I want my flower to be that much red in it. So I'm just gonna add my yellows back and the whites on the other edges and meet in the middle to have it become like more of the yellow than of the red at the end. I think people go with the darker colors after because they don't want it to become the lighter color is gonna mix into it too much. But I feel like if you know what you're doing and keep your brush dry and try to keep it like lighter strokes in the middle to make it blend instead of like trying to mix the colors together, I feel like you can get it back. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's right in the middle there. I don't like how it's like too much red or just like coming over too much. So I'm gonna just put the yellow back in it. Okay, so outside of the yellow, you're going to use red. You're going to dip your brush in red and you're going to press into the red. You're going to do the same thing with the red on the outskirts.
All the way to the edge.
All the way to the edge.
Mix the yellow in.
And mix the yellow in, and pretty much that's what we're doing. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Okay, so now we're seeing the black with the red, and we're going to the very outer corner, and we're making sure that you're mixing the black with the red. So we're mixing the black with the red to make a darker color. Same thing, you're pretty much trying to make a gradient, and we're going to the very edge, and we're also trying to make sure that we cover up the yellow, the initial yellow line. So that's what we're doing.
Kind of working.
Okay guys, so we are at this point where we mix the black in, the red, the yellow.
Do not sit down in the chair, there's paint on it.
Okay. And now we are doing our splatter with white to add a little pizzazz to our painting. So we're gonna put them together. Okay, this is how they look together. Sorry. This is how they look together.
People's are better than other people's.
Some people's owns are better than other people's. Just to be sure, this is mine and this is Dave.
This is our painting.
Okay, and we're gonna mix white paint with a lot of water to make it extremely wet. And then you're gonna do the tapping motion. If you watched our last video, extremely watery.
Practice taps and you'll see how watery it is.
Do it.
Look.
Okay, so do it now. So Dave is gonna tap this part of the brush, not that part, onto the painting to give it a little bit of pizzazz. Can you do in the middle of the sunflower somewhere? Yeah. Cool. And then that's the finished look.
All right.
That's the finished look.
All over my arm.
Let's actually. Okay, guys. So this is the finished look. We're gonna put them together, and this is how it looks. Beautiful.